Gopijana Yasodhanandana Savidanandana Yasodhanandana Savidanandana Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Madhava Kunja Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Yasodhanandana Prajajanandana Yasodhanandana Prajajanandana Yamunatira Yamunatira Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Jai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura, Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribhajakacharya Astottara Sita Sishamani Divintis ISKCON founder Acharya Jagat Guru Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribhajakacharya Astottara Sita Sishamani Divintis Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anand Guru Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prince Guru Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinatha Shyama Kundara Kunda Giri Gauravadan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganges Mai Ki Jai. Tulasi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to Sambhu devotees. All glories to Sambhu devotees. All glories to Sambhu devotees. All glory to Shri Shri Guru Sri Gauranga. Om Vishnu Hare Krishna Vita Bhutale. Simati Bhati Trita Sham Mr. Krishna Bhakti. Shri Gaura Karana Shakti Bhati Trita. Harenam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devyam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Dhira Ashtaprai Swabhadresu Kityam Bhagavatas Hivaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloki Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Jnanatmirandasya Jnanandana Sarakaya Chakshurunliham Jena Tashmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantika Vandeham Sri Gurun Sivita Padakala Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagradatam Sarvana Raghunathan Vitam Sajivam Sadvitam Savadutam Origina Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagano Lolita Sri Visakamvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Taptakanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Krisavan Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Upasangaivacha Patitanam Pavanyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Continue our reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15. The Pandavas retire timely. And we continue from text 13. Arjuna is meditating and appreciating what Krishna did. So he continued, when I stayed for some days as a guest in the heavenly planets, all the heavenly demigods, including King Indra, took shelter of my arms, which were marked with the Gandiva bow, to kill the demon named Nivatakavacha. O King, descendant of Ajamidha, at the present moment I am bereft of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whose influence I was so powerful. And Papa said, the heavenly demigods are certainly more intelligent, powerful, and beautiful, and yet they had to take the help from Arjuna because of his Gandiva bow, which was empowered by the grace of Lord Sri Krishna. The Lord is all powerful, and by his grace, his pure devotee can be as powerful as he may desire, and there is no limit to it. And when the Lord withdraws his power from anyone, he is powerless by the will of the Lord. The military strength of the Kauravas was like an ocean in which there dwelled many invincible existences, and thus it was insurmountable. But because of his friendship, I, seated on the chariot, was able to cross over it, and only by his grace was I able to regain the cows and also collect by force many helmets of the kings, which were bedecked with jewels that were sources of all brilliance. Arjuna is saying, by the mercy of Krishna, he was able to do something which was impossible for him to do ordinarily. For the mercy of Krishna, all impossible things becomes possible. And devotees who are aware of Krishna's mercy are never bewildered by one's achievement. For those who are not aware of this, they are always bewildered because they are thinking that everything depends on them. But the devotee who knows this is always happy and satisfied in all circumstances. As Arjuna is mentioning, recollecting all the wonderful things that Krishna have done in his life. On the Kaurava side, there were many stalwart commanders like Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, and Karna. And the military strength was as insurmountable as the great ocean. Arjuna cannot fight with Karna and defeat him. He cannot fight with Dronacharya and defeat him. He cannot fight with Bhishma. But he was able to kill all these persons because of Krishna's being on his side. The Kauravas, they were really surprised what Arjuna's influence. Arjuna's name terrified all Kshatriyas. So one day they were very surprised. We are all trained by the same person, Dronacharya. So let us go and ask him why Arjuna is different from all of us. What is it you give to him that didn't give to us? So they went to Dronacharya. And Dronacharya told him, Arjuna has two special qualities which you don't have. I didn't give him something special, but he has two special qualities that you don't have. That would make him different from all of you. Although all of you are my students, the same training I gave to all of you in the daytime, in the night you go and sleep. Arjuna will not sleep. He will practice everything which I teach him in the daytime. That means Arjuna was putting extra effort in his practice. We don't have extra effort in our practice. We are simply satisfied with the simple regulations. But it's okay if we simply follow the regulations of Bhakti, you make advancement, but you cannot make a significant advancement like Arjuna did. Simply following what we are following now will not make the impact. We cannot be highly empowered by Lord Krishna or by our chariots to represent them and do something wonderful like all of our chariots did. So Arjuna did this. He was not sleeping in the night. He was practicing both day and night. But he was sleeping in the night. We are simply maintaining the principle of Krishna consciousness, which is Maya. Maintenance is Maya. So this is what we do every day. It's a chance to sit around and keep principles and do services, but we don't check the quality of the things we do every day. We're discussing this one, not in the class outside. We hear so many things and we preach so many things, we have read so many things, but the things we are reading, we are hearing, and even preaching ourselves, we don't see them in ourselves because we're not practicing them. We're simply hearing, but we don't practice. Until we practice these things, they will remain in the book. They will not come outside. They will not exist in us. So Bhakti will not take advice or potent, powerful advice is that as we are practicing, we should work on ourselves. We should individually work on ourselves. This is what Arjuna did that became so special. And the second quality Arjuna had was that Lord Krishna is his friend. So these two qualities made Arjuna special, and none of you can do him anything. And Arjuna is aware of that. He's giving glory to Krishna. He's not seeing himself to be so powerful that everything he did was because of his strength. He's giving credit to Krishna. Everything that has happened to me, it is due to my friendship with Krishna. This is appreciation. We should be grateful. If we are grateful, we will get empowered by Krishna. We'll have more things. If you're not grateful, we'll miss so many things. If you continue to count all the things that have not happened to our life to Krishna, you won't get more. But if you start counting all the good things Krishna is doing in our lives, you get more. Krishna will empower us to do something wonderful that Arjuna is doing. So the Bhakti has formula. If you don't follow the formula, you cannot get the questions correct. The same way, if you don't follow the formula, we will not get the required result, or the result of being a devotee, or performing the austerity or studying the Vedas. You don't get it. We have so many powerful scholars in our system, in our tradition, in our sampradaya. There's so many powerful people in our scriptures, and at the same time they are not devotees. We have so many powerful brahmanas who are not devotees. In Bhagavatam, there's so many powerful personalities who are not devotees. But they are from Brahmana family, powerful brahmanas. Daksha is a brahmana. You know the devotee. That devotee was Dhruva is a powerful. He can enter Vaikuntha, but he didn't stay there. Meanwhile, Ambarish Maharaj's brother, who did not practice anything, entered Vaikuntha and he stayed there. He didn't come back. He didn't practice. Because he has a powerful association with his brother, Ambarish Maharaj. He entered Golok Vaikuntha and he stayed there. He didn't come back. There was somebody one day, he didn't stay. He came back. Krishna pushed him back here. He's a very powerful man. So let us understand what is happening in our tradition. We hear something, we should try to hear properly and see what is happening. Yes. Arjuna has to fight what is really formidable. Krishna himself, he told you this, Maharaj, there's no one here who can stand Acharya. No one here can defeat a Dronacharya. Krishna told you this, Maharaj. So if you want to defeat him, tell him lie. His son is dead. There's the only way you can kill him. No one is going to face him and defeat him in a battle. And Krishna appreciated that. And Arjuna is to fight him. So he appreciated I was able to conquer all these heavyweight warriors because of my friendship with Krishna. He helped me to pass through all this. There were many changes of commanders on the other side, but on the Pandava side, Arjuna alone on the chariot driven by Lord Krishna will manage the whole responsibility of the great war. Similarly, when the Pandavas were living at the palace of Virat, incognito, the Kauravas picked a quarrel with King Virat and decided to take away his large number of cows. While they were taking away the cows, Arjuna fought with them incognito and was able to regain the cows along with some booty taken by force. The jewels set on the turbans of the royal order, Arjuna remembered that all this was possible by the grace of the Lord. He continued. It was he only who withdrew the duration of life from everyone and who, in the battlefield, withdrew the speculative power and strength of enthusiasm from the great military phalanx made by the Kauravas, headed by Bhishma, Karna, Drona, Salya, etc. The arrangement was expert and more than adequate, but he, Lord Sri Krishna, while going forward, did all this. Yudhishthira Maharaj was having only 7 divisions and Dhira was having 11. But he failed because Krishna was not on his side. Krishna was on the side of Arjuna. He succeeded, even though he has limited strength. Materially speaking, he succeeded. Such tactics are generally followed by every statesman, even in modern warfare, but they are all done materially by powerful espionages, military tactics, and diplomatic maneuvers. But because Arjuna was the Lord's affectionate devotee, the Lord did all this himself without personal anxiety by Arjuna. That is the way of the devotional service to the Lord. That is the way of the devotional service of the Lord. Therefore, it is important for us to become a good devotee. If you become a good devotee, Krishna will make every impossible thing possible. That is his nature. He has done this to many devotees, not all Arjuna, to all the devotees. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna said, I am the sweet deliverer of my devotees. Sweet. How long does it take Krishna to protect Ambarish Maharaj? How long? How long does it take? How many minutes? How many hours? Ambarish Maharaj. The demon appeared. How long does it take Krishna to take care of the demon? Huh? Just a moment. That is Krishna, swift deliverer. How long does it take Krishna to deliver Arjuna? How many minutes? How many days? Moment. A moment. So he used the word Vipra. Sipra. Sipra means immediate. Immediate deliverance. That is Krishna's nature. And we are seeing it here. Arjuna is counting all these powerful heroes. Great generals like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Bhurishrava, Shusharma, Salya, Jayadrat, and Balika all directed their invincible weapons against me. But by his Lord Krishna's grace, they could not even touch a hair on my head. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, the supreme devotee of Lord Nrsimhadev, was unaffected by the weapons the demons used against him. The Pandavas, did you see wounds on their body for the 18 days? They have any wounds on their body for the 18 days? No matter how powerful a boxer, a wrestler will be, you must get some punches. Even if you win, you will get punches on their face. The Pandavas did not get any wound on their body because Krishna is in the front, taking care of all of them. That's what Krishna does. That's the relationship Krishna has with devotees. It is going on in our lives. Because Krishna is not physically accounting, see this, see this, see this. We don't seem to see. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, Lord Krishna was telling some of the devotees, do you remember one day Muslims were going to rape their wife, and you were afraid. You ran to the bank of Ganga, there were no boat. You were crying because you don't want to see them molest your wife in your presence. Do you remember that day? Yes. And after crying, somebody came to take your cross. Do you remember that day? Say, yes, I'm the one who did that. Because I told you, I did this. I came to your rescue. I took your cross. You wanted to pay me. I said, no, you shouldn't pay. You were very happy. And you cross. I did that. Oh. Yes. Krishna is counting. I did this for you. And many other personalities, Krishna did this. He's doing the same thing in our life. Yes.
Krishna is giving his devotee that even a hair of his head or what people have affected. But I Draupadi insulted that. She is also devoted. She is also devoted.
Yes. She is a pure devotee. And yes, eternal associate also because it's eternal wife to the Pandavas. When she was in difficulty, she didn't call Krishna first. She looked for her husbands. They couldn't do anything because they had already been won. Then she looked for Bhishma, Dronacharya. Also, they couldn't do anything. And she tried herself, nothing happened. It is when she failed, he realized that I need Krishna. The moment she's called Krishna, how long did it take Krishna to appear? Immediately, Krishna appeared. So she asked Krishna, why it took you a long time to come? I was waiting for you. You didn't see me, but you were looking for all these persons here. So there's no space for me. That's why I didn't come. But when you called me, I came. And Krishna said that call she made him a debtor till today. So that's what Krishna wants. Bhakti Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said, well, Krishna is not obliged to anyone who is not 100% surrendered. Krishna is obliged to a devotee who has taken his full shelter and he does not consider any person else as the Lord. The same thing Jagannath Asaka. For Jagannath, give full shelter to those who feel themselves fallen and have no shelter anywhere but him. So Jagannath give full shelter. He doesn't see that person in an anxiety. He doesn't. So we have to give ourselves to Krishna, then he can give us that shelter. If we don't do that, it's an offense. So Krishna did not ask for us to give him some percentages. He said all. Krishna demanded for all. Full surrender to Krishna. If we have any reservation, we will succeed. Whom are we reserving that for? Krishna does not have second. He doesn't have second. So until we see him to be one without a second and give ourselves fully to him, then he will respond like that. That's one of the main reasons why Lord Ramachandra killed Ravana, because Sita Devi was 100% dependent on him. Therefore, he has to give her 100% protection. No reservation. Arjuna fought without reservation. He succeeded. It was not his desire to fight, but when Krishna said, do it, he did it without reservation. We have different consciousness when we do something that we are told to do. And when we do something we want to do, there's different consciousness that are doing that. Arjuna doesn't have second consciousness. The same. Krishna wanted this to be done, and he did it without reservation. No hesitation. There is no planning whether I should do it or should not do it. It shouldn't come in at all as far as Krishna is concerned. It should be done immediately. Then we'll succeed. Krishna will be there. Krishna will be there. All complete Krishna will be there. And what it takes to get the shelter of Lord Krishna. In Dwarka, one day Lord Krishna was sitting with Rukmini Devi, and he got up from the bed and sat back. Rukmini Devi said, what happened? A devotee was attacked. He called me, I wanted to go. But as I stood up, he already protected himself. So I sat back because there's no space for me there. You want Krishna to be 100%. Krishna will protect us 100%. No reservation, no consideration. All the great warriors are here in this the purport. The demon father employed all his weapons to kill the devotee son Prahlad, but by the grace of the Lord, he was saved from all sorts of dangerous action by his father. He was thrown in a fire in boiling oil from the top of a hill underneath the legs of an elephant, and he was administered poison. At last, the father himself took up his chopper to kill his son, and thus Nrsimhadev appeared and killed the heinous father in the presence of the son. I don't remember all this. It will happen to anyone. Anyone who is surrendered to Krishna will have the same experience. Not different, the same experience. Because Krishna is the same person and devotee is the same. Pure devotee is pure devotee. The same principle holds for anyone who followed this process. Arjuna continued. It was by his mercy only that my enemies neglected to kill me when I descended from my chariot to get water for my thirsty horses. And it was due to my lack of esteem for my Lord that I dare engage him as my chariot driver, for he is worshipped and offered services by the best men to attain salvation. His transcendental relation with Arjuna was in friendship, and the Lord therefore played the part perfectly as he did with his parents, lovers, and wives. While playing in such a perfect transcendental relation, the devotee forgets by the internal potency of the Lord that his friend or son is the supreme personality of Godhead, although sometimes the devotee is bewildered by the act of the Lord. After the departure of the Lord, Arjuna was conscious of his great friend, but there was no mistake on the part of Arjuna, nor any ill estimation of the Lord. Intelligent men are attracted by the transcendental acting of the Lord with a pure, unalloyed devotee like Arjuna. It appears, however, from the history as far back as the days of the Pandavas that the big generals like Arjuna could at once supply water even to the horses, and what to speak of men, by drawing water from underneath the hard ground, simply by penetrating the stratum with a sharp arrow, a method still unknown to the modern scientists. Civilization was there before. We are not civilized. Now we are not civilized. Civilization was before this time. Now we are degraded and full of imperfections. To get water from the ground, you know how long it will take, how much it also cost us. But Arjuna can just shot arrow on the ground and water will come from there easily. Just a moment, you get water for the horses, for others to drink very easily. That science is not known to our big scientists. Our big scientists can only increase our anxieties. That is what they can do. They cannot they cannot reduce our anxieties. They can only increase it. And that they are doing very quickly, and foolish people are following them as faithful servants. Arjuna is not. 18 to 23, remembering Krishna's intimate dealings. And Arjuna is feeling void in Krishna's absence. Arjuna is feeling empty of Krishna being present. That also happened when the spiritual master leaves the planet, disciples who have no connection with the spiritual master will become empty. They will not have any direction. Their mind becomes their deity, which they will worship. The devotees who have established connection with the spiritual master when he is physically present, when the spiritual master's physical presence is not there, they will not feel otherwise. It is at that time the devotee will show what we have been learning while the spiritual master was physically present. That is the time to show it. This is the time to show what kind of devotee we have been all along when the spiritual master was physically present. Those who are taking things for granted, they will feel void, they will feel empty and become speculative and powerless. They will not be able to do anything. Therefore, it is very important for us to establish a connection, spiritual connection, not a managerial position. Managerial position will not help you transcend. Many devotees are having already relationship with the spiritual master. You don't sustain. Because Krishna consciousness it is not external thing. Krishna consciousness is internal thing. It's internal, not external. It is not mechanical. It is devotional. It is devotional. We have to apply the formula of Bhakti in our lives. Then we can succeed. Establish relationship, bona fide relationship. How to do that? We should hear the Guru perfectly. We should hear attentively. If you hear attentively, that hearing has the potency that will purify the heart and establish that connection, that whatever is going on with the spiritual master, you can also experience it. You see this house, you're having light now because it's connected to the powerhouse. If it's disconnected, you don't see light here. Even though the house may be perfectly electrically wired, if there's no connection with the powerhouse, the light will not come inside. In the same way, we can be in a devotional environment, we can have positions, we can have fame, we can have so many things. If we are not spiritually connected, we will remain dry. It's not just enough for a disciple to do what we want. We can do that. We can do like that. But the spiritual master is not comfortable, not happy with that kind of mode. The spiritual master is crying because of our dull nature, our not taking things very seriously, things for granted, and not use the opportunity which is given to us properly. We will feel it more when the physical body of the Guru is not present. We feel it. But those who are connected, you will never feel anything because he's present. He's present. You should feel his presence because everything is spiritual. You should have the guidance. You should have the communication because the connection is there. Let us become bona fide devotees and establish a relationship. By hearing, one can get this establishment, and by applying everything that we hear, we'll be able to understand this is the interest of my spiritual master for me, and we are connected with that interest. We will make it. We'll make it happen. Remembering Krishna's intimate dealings. Why is that? Because Arjuna properly had Krishna. So although he feeling the pain of separation is blissful, and he will regain himself because he had been already his relationship already established. This is remembrance. This is appreciation Arjuna is showing in all the things he's saying. He's remembering Krishna, all the wonderful things he has done in his life. So he is with Krishna. He is with Krishna. That will be proved in few bases. O king, his jokings and frank thoughts were pleasing and beautifully decorated with smiles. Arjuna was seeing Krishna before he was all this. Krishna is standing before Arjuna as he is remembering, describing. He's seeing Krishna directly. His addresses unto me as, O son of Pritha, O friend, O son of the Kuru dynasty, and all such happiness were now remembered by me, and thus I am overwhelmed. If Arjuna did not hear Krishna properly, he would never have this experience. He will have forgotten everything. But because he listened to Krishna, when Krishna was speaking or the dealing, he was very, very conscious of Krishna's position. We should be conscious of our spiritual master. If you are spaced out, we will not have these feelings Arjuna is having. Should be spaced in. Space in is Krishna consciousness. Space out is not Krishna consciousness. We will not hear, we will not remember. The mind should be able to see our spiritual master constantly. And that requires practice. If we see the spiritual master, whenever we are offering obeisances in our mind's eye, we'll be able to see him all the time, physically and subtle or spiritually. If we are offering obeisances and we don't see the spiritual master, is void, then we'll be void. This is a society of personalism. We shouldn't practice in personalism. We walk past each other without greeting. Is it not? We walk past each other, the devotee, the same temple. We walk past each other without greeting. What is that? Personalism. If you don't have anything, if I don't have anything to ask of you, I won't see you. Just pass. Only if I have something, can I borrow your computer? And after that, we will not have this experience Arjuna is having. Once it's gone, it's gone. But Arjuna listened attentively to Krishna, and he saw all the dealings that Krishna was having with him. Therefore, he's able to remember everything, and then he didn't write them down in the book. This is written in his head because he listened attentively. All the names Krishna called Arjuna, he's able to remember all of them. And also the one he called Krishna, he also remember all. Generally, both of us used to live together and sleep, sit, and loiter together. And at the time of advertising oneself for acts of chivalry, sometimes, if there were any irregularity, I used to reproach him by saying, "My friend, you are very truthful." Arjuna was insulting Krishna also in his address. When Arjuna called Krishna Yadava, that's an insult. It means we ruled you. We are ruling, and you are our servant. Yadava. That's an insult. But Krishna didn't feel otherwise. my friend. Even in those hours when his value was minimized, he, being the supreme soul, used to tolerate all those utterings of mine, excusing me exactly as a true friend excuses his true friend, or a father excuses his son. O Emperor, now I am separated from my friend and dear most well-wisher, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore my heart appears to be void of everything. In his absence, I have been defeated by a number of infidel cowhead men, while I was guarding the bodies of all the wives of Krishna. This is surprising. It's surprising. Arjuna that terrifies the warriors, have been defeated by infidels. This is intolerable for Kshatriya. For Kshatriya, it's better to die. Yes, even if a Kshatriya to Kshatriya fights, they can tolerate that. But what is the weapon of cowhead boys? What is the weapon of cowhead boys? Stick. Compared to Gandiva bow. Any comparison? No comparison. So Arjuna is remembering. Prabhupada said, the important point in this verse is how it was possible that Arjuna could be defeated by a gang of noble cowhead men, and how such mundane cowhead men could touch the bodies of the wives of Lord Krishna, who were under the protection of Arjuna. Sri Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakura has justified the contradiction by research in the Vishnu Purana and Brahma Purana. In these Puranas, it is said that once the fair denizens of heaven pleased Astavakra Muni by their service and were blessed by the Muni to have the Supreme Lord as their husband. Astavakra Muni was curved in 8 joints of his body, and thus he used to move in a peculiar curved manner. It is difficult for one to not to laugh when Astavakra is walking. It's difficult for someone to control laughing. It is really funny. Really funny. So, and the ladies, naturally, they're very soft-hearted. They take everything lightly. So they laughed. And then the Muni became angry with them. I bless you to have Krishna as your husband. Now you got Krishna as a husband and you are laughing at me. Okay? I will teach you a lesson. So he cursed them, all of you will be stolen by cowherd boys. The daughters of the demigods could not check their laughter upon seeing the movement of the Muni. And the Muni, being angry at them, cursed them that they will be kidnapped by rogues, even if they would get the Lord as their husband. Can Krishna's queen be touched? Can they be touched by demons? Can they be defeated by someone else? No. Later on, the girls again satisfied the Muni by their prayers, and the Muni blessed them that they would regain their husband even after being robbed by the rogues. So, in order to keep the word of the great Muni, the Lord himself kidnapped his wives from the protection of Arjuna. Otherwise, they would have at once vanished from the scene as soon as they were touched by the ropes. So the cowhead boys here are Krishna himself. He came to take his wife, and at the same time gave Arjuna a chance to deepen his meditation on him. So Arjuna is meditating. How is it possible that this boy can defeat me? The Gandhiva can do wonders. For the Kshatriya, they are afraid of him. How can it be possible that simple people with the stick will defeat Arjuna? It will not happen. Even Indra's thunderbolt cannot do Brajavasis anything. Nothing. Nothing can happen to a devotee. Only if Krishna permits it. Nothing. Without Krishna's permission, nothing can happen to devotees. And Krishna allows something to happen to a devotee for his own personal reason that he knows, which we don't know. But he knows. He planned everything. So Krishna himself took his wives. Besides that, some of the gopis who pray to become wives of the Lord returned to their respective positions after their desire was fulfilled. After the departure of Lord Krishna, he wanted all his entourage back to Godhead, and they were called back under different conditions only. All the queens of Krishna, they are the expansions of the gopis. When they were feeling separation from Krishna in Vrindavan, Yogmaya transformed all of them and sent them to Dvaka as Krishna's queens. So Rose can never touch Krishna. So he is doing everything himself. I have the very same Gandiva bow, the same arrows, the same chariot drawn by the same horses, and I use them as the same Arjuna, to whom all the kings offered their due respect. But in the absence of Lord Krishna, all of them at a moment's notice have become null and void. It is exactly like offering clarified butter on ashes, accumulating money with a magic wand, or sowing seeds on barren land. This is a powerful analogy, very powerful. Three analogies are given here. Clarified butter on ashes, accumulating money with magic wand, and sowing seeds on barren land. It will not germinate. It will not grow. The seed will not grow. A money with a magic wand is not money. It is a camouflage. It is not money. Nobody can use it. It's not real. And ashes means there is no fire. So pouring water there and pouring ghee there doesn't make sense. It is useless. Yes.
Actually, I don't have much any doubt, but people sometimes may ask, like, I hear mentioned that Arjuna was telling I am having the same chariot.
Yes.
But we heard in one first time that after the battle of the Mahabharata, that chariot got burned. When Krishna came out, and then is it the first time is there authentic, or just look, people are saying that it came out first, and then as soon as Krishna got down from the chariot, it got burned to ashes. But here is mentioned the same chariot. So
yes. At the same time. It's not the same time. In the Bhagavatam, like in the morning we're trying to explain, there's something that happened at different age, but they're put together here. So you're not the same age. So yes, it happened. Are not the same age, at different age. This happened. For this age, different thing happen. But they're only one place. Hmm?
Difference of culture.
Yes. Yes. As we have discussed more than once, one should not be puffed up by borrowed plums. All energies and powers are derived from the Supreme Source, Lord Krishna, and they act as long as he desires and cease to function as soon as he withdraws. When Krishna wants, he provides what is necessary. And when it is over, so Krishna will withdraw everything. The same thing with all other incarnations. All the incarnations of Krishna are specifically empowered with particular duty. When that is over, they also withdraw. It is said here that a dead civilization and its activities are something like clarified butter on ashes. The accumulation of money by a magic wand and the sowing of seeds in a barren land. O King, since you have asked me about our friends and relatives in the city of Dwarka, I will inform you that all of them were cursed by the Brahmanas, and as a result, they all became intoxicated with wine made of putrefied rice and fought among themselves with sticks, not even recognizing one another. Now, all but the 4 or 5 of them are dead and gone. In the 11th canto, the person is there, in the 11th canto. The same thing. When Krishna has finished, Krishna brought all his entourage with him. They are not from here. Krishna brought them to come and assist him. It's like if a minister travels with entourage another city with his entourage. They are all higher personalities. If he finishes his visit and leave those people there, what will happen? They have power, they want to rule. What will they do? They will fight. So Krishna knows that. So he brought them from there, and it is a duty to send them back to their respective places. So Krishna made arrangement as he made for all others, himself, Balaram, and all others. He made perfect arrangements to send all of them back, the demigod, to send them back to their respective places. So Krishna arranged that the pretended this Krishna's providence.
As they here mentioned this wine,
Yes.
Made up of rice. Nowadays also they are making. And Somras and Varuni, that Balram, so they are all almost the same category, intoxicating. These things are like different. Somras also like when you can't said, that is also so providing strength as well as intoxicating. So like sometimes people when we read this past time, when they would ask, like Balram is drinking and like it's mentioned that activities of, so like generally people get bewildered like here in these pastimes, like how ancestors, or you can say the dynasty of Yadu, how they are drinking this wine and all. Although they know the effect, it will cause intoxication. So how we can convince them?
Yes, the Balaram can drink. He is a supreme Lord. Nothing affects him. He is Ishwara. The activities of Ishwara should not be imitated. If we imitate Ishwara's position, we will suffer. They have the power to do it. So Balaram can drink. The Varuni he drank is different from what we are making. Of course, we had, he was intoxicated. What do we mean by intoxicated? He's already an intoxicated person. He's intoxicated a pure love of Godhead. That is intoxicant. He doesn't need something else to intoxicate him. We need something else to intoxicate us. But the Supreme Lord does not need something outside himself for his enjoyment. When he needs something he wants to enjoy, he will manifest it by himself. But we don't have that ability. If you need something, we have to look for it outside. So in this material, we will see many people are bewildered to look for our enjoyment in someone else's body. So Krishna does not look for his enjoyment in someone's body. He will create it himself. So a Varuni, a Varanam took, it's a different thing. Very, very pure and tasty. We can make a putrefied rice. And that will intoxicate us. Varanam, when he drank, he didn't fight his devotees. He always chastised them and killed the wild gorilla. Or not devotees. But when ordinary person drink this, you fight someone else. So it is not approved. They can say that. The same thing they can say, Lord Shiva drank, he take ganja, we can take ganja. Yes, but Shiva does not take only ganja, he also drank an ocean of poison. So let them take a drop of it also. Maybe just one drop, not many. Not an ocean, but just a drop. Right? You see, if they be able to handle it, they will not be able to handle it. Once a sadhu was traveling with his disciples, and they were having difficulty with something to drink. It was really very, very hot, and there was no water. They were walking and walking and walking, tired, no water and nothing. So eventually they came across a wine. So he told the disciple to purchase some. So they got some, and they all drank it. So the disciple were thinking, the Guru asked us to drink, so we drank. So this is very good. So next time we will continue. This is Paramparana. So from now we'll continue. So the sadhu was reading the minds of the disciples. So he didn't say anything. So he kept quiet. He continued. And they came to one village, and the gross meat was there. So the Guru asked for melted iron. So red hot melted iron. So he drank it and gave the remnant to the disciples. I gave you wine, you drank. Now also so, so take. But no one could take it. The person, no, you take this, you took palm wine, so take this one also. It's the same maha. But they couldn't take it. So the lesson is, they are circumstantial things. and the things which are permanent, which are absolute, and the things which are meant for the Ishwaras. We should not imitate. Since you don't have the quality, you should not imitate that. Krishna dance, rasa dance. So I can also do the same. Yes, we can do the same thing if we are Krishna. We have the quality of Krishna, no problem. We can do that. If we don't have the quality, we will simply suffer. And that is going on. That's going on. Our sinful activities is causing us the suffering. So yes, we're remembering how the Kauravas pretended that Samba was a woman and is pregnant. They put sari in her stomach and came before the sages and told, our wife is pregnant and she's conscious of having a baby boy. Can you tell us the child is a boy? And this is done to very powerful personalities. So they look, this is a woman, this pregnancy. This your fourth pregnancy will deliver a crop that will destroy all of you. But it's already there. It does not take time to manifest for the sages. They deliver the crop. They took it to Gracena and explained everything to Gracena. Providence, everything worked perfectly as Krishna planned. Just like Kali Yuga is working according to how it was. It's going on like that. All the wrong things in Kali Yuga is going on. We cannot check it. We can check ourselves. We cannot check the Kali Yuga movie. So Gracena, following the providence, they'll grind it and go and throw it to the sea. They grind everything into powder, and a small one, they were unable to grind it. So they threw everything inside the sea. But all of them came back and formed a forest of trees. Parabasa Tifta. It's the bank of the river, at the bank of the river, and all this became weeds. And that one which was not able to be grounded, a fish swallowed it, was caught by a fisherman. It was given Jara took it and made an arrow from it. Jara is Brigumuli in his previous life. So he made arrow from that as a hunter. So he was using that to hunt. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, text 17, purport, Prabhupada mentioned jungle hunters are demons. That means Brigumuni became a demon for committing offenses, kicking Krishna in his chest. But at the same time, Krishna promised the devotee will not perish. Therefore, he delivered Brigumuni, Brigumuni, who became Jara, not Jara, Jara. There are two persons. Jara is a different thing. Jara is another person. The hunter. So he used that arrow and he was using it to hunt in the forest. And one day Lokeshna told him, you know, we have been cursed by Brahmanas. It's better for us to go and prepare for the time to come. Let us be prepared. And where did they go? They went to the same place, without knowing that it was that club that became trees in the forest they have gone to. It is there they drank this beverage and become intoxicated, and they all fought each other. Nobody can fight them and defeat it. It's only themselves who can defeat themselves. So Krishna used themselves to send them away. The Balaram saw that fight. He was so disturbed and mortified to see how his family members are fighting each other like these, mercilessly killing each other. So he entered the water and his expansion, an ancestor came and took him. He entered the water, and that's how he disappeared. And all the remaining people, they also throw themselves and disappear like that. And Krishna, the last person. So he came and sat under a banyan tree. As he was sitting, placing his foot on top of his lap. So Jara was seeing that and thinking it's a deer. And he shot Krishna at the foot. Without saying, see, everything is going around. That's how powerful, nature works. Nature is powerful. This is Krishna's energy. Even Krishna himself, when he came here, who is calculated to have spent 125 years, Ramachandra, death came to him also as a Brahmana and requested him, your time has come. It's something that everyone will meet. But how we meet the death? It is now. It is what we're doing now. What we're doing now will determine how we're going to live our body. We're going to live the body auspiciously and go back to Godhead, or we're going to have another material body, which is not wanted. Because according to the Sunday, we already made a mistake accepting this material body. So we shouldn't repeat our mistake by having another material body. Now we should use this body to develop a spiritual body and go back to Godhead. That opportunity we have now. We have this chance now to practice Krishna consciousness in such a way that we have a spiritual body and go back to Godhead. So in this way, the family members of Krishna, including himself, Krishna and Balaram, they disappeared. Arjuna is remembering this and mentioning here 24 to 31. Arjuna focused on Krishna's instructions and he attains transcendence. He focused on instructions he received when Krishna was with him. And from that, he attained success. Actually, this is all due to the supreme will of the Lord. That's correct. The personality of Godhead. Sometimes people kill one another, and at other times, they protect one another. See, providence. This should be clear. Whenever, therefore, there is a peace in the world, it must be known that it is due to the good will of the Lord. And whenever there is upheaval in the world, it is also due to the supreme will of the Lord. Not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Lord. Is it true? Do we believe this? Is it true? Yes. Please listen to my question. Is it true that not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Lord? Yes. Yes? Why do you complain? Why do you complain? Huh? No, 100%. Yes. Philosophically, theoretically, we hear this theoretically, but not that we have full understanding or full realization of it. Yes, sir.
They said that philosophy for others, not for myself.
Yes. Yes. That is called Burunda devotee or Burunda hearer. Burunda hearer. Burunda. There are 4 kinds of hearers. inauspicious and 4 auspicious hearers. 4 inauspicious. One is Burunda bird. Burunda bird. Burunda bird lives at the Himalayas with the sages, and he hears everything perfectly. He hears perfectly, and he will repeat it perfectly. No practice. That is Burunda bird. This is for others. So good. Memory is so good. Ability to repeat is very good. And in a moment, such a person is considered a pure devotee. He has spoken, so wonderful philosophy. So great. What does he do after the philosophy? What is his life after the philosophy? Dress the deity very nicely, cook very nicely, beating the wife in the house. Pure devotee. Is it not? Look at the dressing he made for the deities. So he didn't lose your heart by looking at such beautiful dressing. Lose your heart, right? But the person who did that is what? Is beating his wife in the house. And his leadership is making others become insecure in the temple. That's pure devotee. I'm asking. Is it not? He spoke so powerfully. He's a great devotee. He knows the scripture. When he's speaking, you can sit in the fire, you will never feel it. You won't feel that you're sitting in the fire when he's speaking. But after he spoke, what is his activity? Something which is absolute is consistent. Anything which is not consistent cannot be pure. It's not absolute. Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, all our scripture is consistent. It never changes. With time, with space, with place. It never changes. Krishna is the supreme person of God. It is absolute. It never changes. We eternally part and parcel of Krishna. It never changes. Do not change. Therefore, the word is constitution. That is, we are constitutionally that. So we should look carefully. Therefore, if we accept this, that not a blade of grass move without the will of Krishna, therefore, we should be satisfied with everything that is happening. Not that if a devotee is misbehaving, you should say no complaint. That is not true. No complaint means that we should not be worried about what is happening in the material world. We should be worried about how we are practicing our Christian consciousness. We should not worry when something happens, something bad happens. We should not accuse anyone or think otherwise about Krishna. We should check. Krishna wants me to learn something. What does he want me to learn in this case that he has provided this situation? What does he want me to learn in this? This is a question that devotees will always ask, and we will always get something from Krishna. And whenever there is upheaval in the world, it is also due to some will. Whenever, therefore, there is disobedience of the established rules enacted by the Lord, there is war between men and nation. The surest way to the path of peace, therefore, is dovetailing everything to the established rule of the Lord. The established rule is that whatever we do, whatever we eat, whatever we sacrifice, or whatever we give in charity must be done to the full satisfaction of the Lord. No one should do anything, eat anything, sacrifice anything, or give anything in charity against the will of the Lord. Discretion is the better part of valor, and one must learn how to discriminate between actions which may be pleasing to the Lord and those which may not be pleasing to the Lord. An action is thus judged by the Lord's pleasure or displeasure. We have mentioned in the morning that we should measure our activities. Our Christian consciousness to see how it is, if it is pleasing to Krishna. That is how we check our activities. This is how a devotee should live the life. What I'm about to do now, will it please Krishna or is going to displease Krishna? This is how to measure our activity, measure our Krishna consciousness. What I'm planning to do is sanctioned by Krishna. If we use this measure in our Krishna conscious life, we'll have a different experience from what we have now. If this becomes our focus, we'll look into our activities very carefully. Discretion is a better part of valor, and one must learn how to discriminate between actions which may be pleasing to the Lord and those which may not be pleasing to the Lord. An action is thus judged by the Lord's pleasure or displeasure. Anything which is pleasing to Christians to be done, even if you don't like it. And anything which will not please Christians, we should not do that. In other words, we should not do anything until we are convinced that what we're going to do will please Krishna. This is what Prabhupada is saying. Until we are convinced that what I'm going to do now, Krishna will be pleased with it. My special master will be pleased with it. If this activity is not going to please my special master, if he sees me doing this, if he's not pleased, let us not do it. If he's going to be pleased, if he'll be happy to see me, we should do it. Our Krishna concept, the whole movement will change. The whole movement will change. Our life will change completely. Let this become our constant mirror to see ourselves. Mirror, constant mirror to see our face. We have mirror to see our face. This is the mirror to see the heart. Our scripture said the mirror to see the heart. Like this. An action is thus judged by the Lord's pleasure or displeasure. There is no room for personal whims. We must always be guided by the pleasure of the Lord. This is what we see with the pure devotees. Krishna must be in the center of the activities. If Krishna is not the center of the activity, they will never do it. They will never go anywhere. They will never see anything. They will never hear anything. If Krishna is not in the center, they will never hear anything. They will not see anything. They will not eat anything. They will not go anywhere. They will not do anything. But if Krishna is the center, they are ready to do anything. They are ready to take any risk. It's the guiding principle for us to check where we are in our Krishna consciousness or where we are going in our Krishna consciousness. A devotee cannot act whimsically. In Krishna, the Prabhupada said, Bhagavad 1865 purport, whimsical activities should not be offered to Krishna. Means what? We should check our activities and see how wonderful it is if it is pleasing to Krishna. It's not about doing something. We should do things because it's going to please Krishna. Otherwise, Bhagavad say what? Karma, bandhana. The activity which we do will implicate us. But devotees will learn to do things which are not implicating, which are liberating. That is Krishna consciousness. Our activities will be liberating. Not devotional service. Devotional service purifies the performer. And non-devotional activities condition the performer. So those who are very, very careful, like the Gyanis, they take to Krishna consciousness not because they want Krishna, because they know that karma is implicating. Let me not do anything, let me not do any activity. But that is not a perfect thing. We cannot stay in this world without doing anything, not even in the spiritual world. Because our nature is that we are conscious beings. We are conscious. Conscious means that we are always active. We must do something. We cannot stay without doing anything in this world. I'll get out 18 text 11. Right? Correct? We cannot do anything. Even to maintain this body, we have to act. So it is not giving up activities that is the issue, which is not possible. Even if one is sitting down in meditation, in Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, we're talking about action in inaction, inaction in action. Right? How do you know which is which is action in inaction or action in inaction? How do you explain that? What's the meaning? How can you explain that? Tell me now, you have done Bhakti Sastra. You're doing Vaibhava. So tell me. Yes, bro. Can you get a mic?
One can see spiritual aspect, devotion, even in the mundane world, or so called world, that we can say, see in action.
Okay.
Like the opposite, seeing action in action, some person is just doing spiritual duties fundamentally, but not from heart. And it's realized so, not everyone can see, realized so, not person. If you can see, then you can say that see action in events.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Any contribution? Thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
Like friends are there doing job or something for maintaining their family. Sometimes we see that they are doing work, action, but that is also devotion because they are earning money for maintaining also serving the Lord. And another thing is that like brahmacharis, they are visiting in ashram, they are always engaged in devotion, but that is also action. Just they are not just doing devotion, they are also doing action, like they are maintaining manager doing working, they are doing. I can action in devotion in action.
Action in action. All right, thank you. Something more? Okay, thank you. A Munis sitting in meditation, not talking to anybody. Meditation. What is that? How do you call that? Huh? In action? In action, right? Why is it action? Not do anything. What is it action? He's sitting in meditation, not talking to anybody, not causing any anxiety to anybody. It's peaceful. It's very peaceful sitting. How do you call that?
moving in his mind.
Is it action or inaction? Yeah. Thank you. And then the Pujari, you are worshipping Tulsi. Very nice. What is that? Huh? Action? You know? Yeah, you are busy doing Tulsi Arti or Deti Puja very nicely. So, which of them is action? Which one is action? And inaction? Which one? Money is sitting down or the devotee doing Arti?
Everybody doing that in action, and yogi is just sitting in action.
Thank you. He's busy worshipping Tulsi Devi. Externally, it is action, but there is no negative reaction. So it is yes. And meanwhile, he's sitting there and that thinking that he's doing nothing, but he's doing so many things. He's doing so many things. He's breathing, right? He's not killing so many living entities. What he's sitting under, there are no living entities under there. He's suppressing them, right? He's killing so many things. So this is action in inaction. So that is a devotee should be very, very clear in this. Such action is called yoga karmasu kausalam, or action performed which are linked with the Supreme Lord. That is the act of doing a thing perfectly. Perfectly. Judge our activities. A devotee is thoughtful. A devotee is mindful. Mindful about everything that we do. A devotee. Mindful. Krishna says, man mana means to be mindful of everything that we do. Our walking, our eating, our sleeping, everything that we do, we should be mindful about it. Our talking, our hearing, our reading, everything. Our sitting, everything should be mindful. So our activities are considered bad or good, depending on if it pleases Krishna or displeases Krishna. Krishna told you this one, tell lie, he refused. What is that? That is bad, yes. That is bad. That is irreligion. It's irreligion. And that brought him down. His chariot came down because he disobeyed Krishna. Therefore, we should understand what is action and what is inaction. We should understand it very clearly. Activities which pleases Krishna. Yes. Yes. That is what we should do. So now we should use this to measure our daily activities in everything that we do. We will have a wonderful and successful Krishna consciousness. Right? Oh, King, as in the ocean, the bigger and stronger aquatics swallow up the smaller and weaker ones, so also the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to lighten the burden of the earth, has engaged the stronger Yadu to kill the weaker, the bigger Yadu to kill the smaller. Yes. In the spiritual world, there is no struggle for existence because everyone there exists eternally. There is no disparity between everyone, because everyone wants to render service to the Supreme Lord. Everyone wants to render service to the Supreme Lord. That is the spiritual world. And no one wants to imitate the Lord in becoming the beneficiary. No one. Everything is done in cooperation with the Supreme. Cooperation. The Lord, being creator of everything, including the living beings, factually is the proprietor and enjoyer of everything that be. But in the material world, the spell of Maya or illusion, this eternal relation with the supreme personality of Godhead is forgotten, and so the living being is conditioned under the law of struggle for existence and survival of the fittest. Struggle to exist is not life, it is suffering. And that is considered to be civilization. It is not civilization, it is a struggle. A person who struggles cannot be peaceful. A person who is not struggling will be peaceful. And look very carefully. If you struggle, you will not be peaceful. Because it requires anxiety. One who depends on Krishna and work under Krishna's direction will always meet with auspiciousness. Always. What auspiciousness? Bhagavad Gita 1857. In all activities, depend upon me. Depend on me in all activities. Depend upon me, Krishna said. Now I am attracted to those instructions imparted to me by the personality of Godhead, Govinda, because they are what? Impregnated with instruction for relieving the burning heart in all circumstances of time and space. What do we understand by this? What do you understand by this? Yes, sir. Is the mic? Arjuna is speaking. Yes.
Probably Arjuna is remembering the subject matter of Bhagavad Gita which Krishna spoke to him. The
Yes.
science of soul.
Yes. What else we get from here? Huh? Have you listened to it carefully?
Vadi Seva is more important than Guru Seva.
Hmm?
Vadi Seva is more important than Guru Seva. Even if after the departure of Lord Krishna, he is remembering the instructions.
Very good. Very good point. What else? What is our understanding of this? Because they are impregnated with instruction for relieving the burning hearts in all circumstances of time and space. Any contribution? Did you read it carefully? Yes.
If someone is grateful to his guru in his presence, then he can understand the reality and surrender to guru after his departure also.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
So one point that even after departure of the spiritual master, so the spiritual master has given us the things or instructions by which we can relieve ourselves from all burning or advance in spiritual life.
Very good. Very good.
Because Arjuna was very pure devotee, so all the instructions were integrated in the heart. So if we will be practicing nicely, and also the instructions of spiritual master will be there in the heart, and in such circumstances, we will also be remembering instructions. Yes, Arjuna is
Very good. Thank you.
Prabhupada just mentioned that Bhagavad Gita or any authentic scriptures on representation of the Lord is also the incarnation of the Lord.
Yes.
There is no difference between the sound representation of the Lord and the Lord himself.
Yes.
One can try the same meaning to the Bhagavad Gita as Arjuna did in the personal presence of the Lord. So Arjuna feel the presence of the Lord in the form of the instruction. So the Lord is he is never alone.
Very good. Very good. Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada also we can see like he got instructions and under difficult circumstances he stuck to those instructions and by following those instructions he saw how it is actually becoming a reality and how it is practically happening in his life, and he became more attractive, more faithful. He gained more faith in the instruction.
Okay. Very good. Yes.
Krishna Maharaj, the word that actually caught my attention is pregnant.
Yes.
It's a very loaded word.
Yes.
And, if we take the similarity of like when a woman is pregnant, she's carrying two in one. And then even though she gives birth, she doesn't forget that one is my child. No matter how big or even, leaves the planet or whatever, there's always that oneness just because of the pregnancy.
Yes.
So, on that basis, the instruction of the spiritual master and the detailed consciousness of the instruction gets impregnated in the consciousness of the living entity. And in that sense, it becomes one, and it becomes an eternal source of existence.
Very good. Very good. Yes, Prabhupada. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Previously, Arjuna is remembering how they had a wonderful relationship with Krishna, and like he is missing all those things. So that is like burning things in the heart for him. Like he is feeling separation. At the same time, he has got the instructions. So this is going to realize that the separation thing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Yes, Arjuna is very strong words Arjuna is using here. The instruction from the spiritual master is impregnated what? The power to relieve our burning hearts in all circumstances of time and space. A disciple should, that is why it is an offense to disobey the instruction given by the spiritual master, because it is given for our benefit. It is not just given, it is for our own benefit. The instruction is fully loaded with the potency that brings the purification that we require to become successful in our Christian consciousness. So, what it is, if we don't take it seriously, we will not get relief. It is a relief. A spiritual master speaks for benefit. We should take it very seriously, and we will transcend material existence if you take the instruction very seriously. The instruction carries the potency. That potency can purify us completely. Therefore, it should never be disobeyed. This must be followed. And then in Krishna, the instruction of Krishna is Bhagavad Gita. It's given to us. In the Bhagavatam, it's all the scriptures. This is instruction of Krishna given. Because Arjuna did not take this very casually, he took them very seriously. He was able to remember, and because the instruction is fully loaded, he's getting the purification required. He's getting all the required purification. You want to be purified, take the instruction very seriously. The problem which arose in the heart of Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra was solved by the teachings Bhagavad Gita. Again, after the departure of the Lord from the vision of earthly people, when Arjuna was face to face with being vanquished in his acquired power and prominence, he wanted to again to remember the great teachings of the Gita, Bhagavad Gita, just to teach all concerned that Bhagavad Gita can be consulted in all critical times, not only for solace from all kinds of mental agonies, but also for the way out of great entanglement which may embarrass one in some critical hour. Thus, the Bhagavad Gita or any authentic scriptural sound representation of the Lord is also the incarnation of the Lord. There is no difference between the sound representation of the Lord and the Lord himself. One can derive the presence of the Lord. One can derive the same benefit from the Bhagavad Gita as Arjuna did in the presence of the Lord. All right. Need a break for 10 minutes. Gayatri, 6 o'clock.